Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Patrick Gusfield, and with me tonight is the ever popular, ever successful Flip Dickard.
Thank you, Panther. And I think it's going to be another wonderful night for some fantasy football.
All right, now tell the folks at home, Flip. Now we had a fan of the show shoot us a bunch of cash, so one of us could go out on location on the road to do some on the spot like investigation and reporting. So tell the folks at home where you're at now.
I am live from sunny Miami, Florida. I'm outside Miami Dolphins' secret base when it comes to upgrading all their players. Nice. But we'll get into more of that in a moment.
Oh, man. I'm so jealous. All right, folks. We have not been on the air for 2 weeks. Now, for those of you that are members of our Patreon, you have been able to get the picks of the week sent to you via text message, email, text message, both. But for legal reasons, we can say most of it. We got arrested. We got a hot tip. And too hot. And we decided to both go out together to investigate it, and we were going to interview a specific player, Jonathan Taylor, and because I wanted to know for sure, like, what the deal was this season. I mean, he really, like, him not playing really screwed over a bunch of people in fantasy football. Now, we called and talked to the right people. We didn't just show up. We talked to the right people. Management said, yes, you can meet with him. He's agreed to meet for a 15-minute interview, no longer. We said that was fine. We went to the appointed spot, which was at the stadium, and he didn't come out. And his manager came out and he said, well, he's having second thoughts. And I said, well, we just traveled all this way for this interview. Like, we're not just turning around. If he isn't going to give the interview, then you need to, so we can quote you, because, that's, we're here, So he was like, well, I don't know if I can speak for him. Hold on, I'll be back. And he goes back inside. He's in there for like a half an hour to 45 minutes. And we were just sitting out there like looking at each other like, man, this is not going to happen. And then all of a sudden the door just bursts open and out walks Jonathan Taylor. He's like, all right, motherfuckers. And he just had this attitude like he was not happy we were there to talk to him. I'm like, listen, man, we don't have a problem with you. We just, you said you wanted to do the interview. We drove up here to do it. And he's like, well, you motherfuckers. And he's just like, he wasn't happy. Maybe he's having a bad day. Well, we're like, so Flip just got right into it. And he just started banging out the questions, right?
That's the way I do it. I bang it out.
And, Jonathan Taylor answered most of them. Like, well, he answered like the first two, like right off the bat. The third question, I think, pissed him off a little bit more. And he kind of came at Flip. I was like, what, motherfucker? And came at Flip. And his agent kind of jumped in the way, but he pushed his agent. His agent, lost balance because he bumped into the agent, which fell into me. And I shoved him off of me into Flip. And Flip shoved him back into Jonathan Taylor.
And I have my reflex. I still have my football reflexes, man. I can't help it.
Yeah, I mean, this is a manager. This dude's like, So, and then shit kind of started to hit the fan. And Jonathan Taylor walked forward and was like, what? And I was like, nope. Not today, Jesus. I don't need to go to the hospital. But Flip was a little pissed off. And, when he gets going, so I quickly realized that this was not going to end well. And then a couple security guys came out the door, and it just turned into a giant shit show. Needless to say, it was their word against ours, and we spent 2 weeks in jail. Our lawyers came to bail us out, and I don't know, the judge seemed to have a low opinion that we would actually return for our court date So
Interesting.
he kept us
Technical
there
issue.
until our court date. He kept us there for 2 weeks until our court date, and did not grant us bail. That's actually, he said, "How much money do you have?" And I was like, "Nope. We'll just stay here in jail." So sorry for you viewers. Flip, do you have anything you want to add to the recount of the incident?
I'm going to bring up a little bit, but for the most part, I'll just let it lie. I'm sure Jonathan Taylor's probably watching, and the last thing I want to do is end up back in jail. So I'm just going to let this go. But I had some great times in jail. I think it was one of the best experiences of my life.
Yeah, it was pretty good. People say jail isn't that bad, but, listen, if I could fill out an application to go to jail, hey, do you want to go to jail for a little bit? Just like a couple days, and pick the actual jail. The jail we got put in, it's pretty good. I mean, who knew Indianapolis? But it wasn't bad. And it
smelled better inside the jail than it was outside the jail.
Weirdly, yes. And so they made us. We had to fill out paperwork and stuff, and it said, "In case of emergency, notify." And I was like, "That's kind of funny because this is an emergency." So maybe it should already be anyway. So I just put doctor. In case of emergency, notify doctor. And they did actually get us a doctor because we were pretty beat up. I got dislocated my shoulder.
Something good that came out of it is I'm no longer addicted to most of the drugs that I was addicted to. 2 weeks sobered me up.
That is really good. Yeah, I was kind of worried about you a little bit. You were looking pretty sweaty there.
Yeah.
Now, we did make some friends in jail, and to those friends, we'll give a little shout out. What up to the boys back in the block,
Yeah. I got a very specific shout out to one of my best buds that was in the cell next to us, so we'll hear about that later on.
Nice. Now, what was that guy's name? It was everybody called him Bangkok Lady Boy. I can't remember. Anyway.
No, that was on the other side.
Was it?
Yeah. On my side, it was Russell the Love Muscle.
Russell the Love Muscle. Yeah, it was okay. But yeah, I think it was Bangkok Lady Boy. Anyway, his cologne was offensive. I don't know what he made that out of, but it definitely wasn't brought in. I
think it was outside. 85% toilet water.
I know. Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining, because maybe that's what the cologne was called. I don't know.
Oh.
Possibly. I don't know. But yeah, and then what's his name? It was that one dude who had the southern accent. He was real skinny. But anyway, they got into a fight in the lunchroom. Fight broke out, and this one big dude looked at the little skinny southern dude with the accent and was like, "All your relatives were buried with a fly swatter," which I thought was an odd thing to say. And,
I don't know if we can say that on this podcast.
No, I mean, maybe not. And
I have to bleep it. I mean, we'll figure it out later. Maybe we have to bleep it.
And as the little skinny guy went at him, and I wasn't expecting that because he's obviously smaller than the dude, but he didn't care. He was YOLO, you only live once, and he came up over the lunch table, and he's like, "I'm hungrier than a kid on his third day of fat camp," but in a southern accent. And
so you barely understand him.
Yeah. So yeah, but anyway, it was pretty good. One thing. We are no longer allowed in the city, at least for, a while, allowed in the city of Minneapolis. It's not Minneapolis, Indianapolis. No longer not allowed there for a while. It was suggested that we not come back, but, they'll forget over time.
Yeah. The warden said we'd come back to jail anytime we wanted. That was kind of cool of him.
Well, and I said that, we did get to visit the zoo before our interview with Jonathan Taylor. We got there the day before, and we went to the zoo, which I enjoyed. I always like to see the lions because they're big. They stink, but they're really big. And we also got banned from there. Well, at least I did. Apparently, you cannot take souvenirs from the lions home with you or out of the zoo with you. So I have the heart of a lion, but a lifetime ban from the zoo. So
rough.
Yeah, I know. But,
do you still have that heart?
I do. I mean, I ran. They've got my face on camera. And because of our popularity, they found out who I was, and they sent me a heavily worded letter saying, "Do not come back." So yeah.
I would like to apologize to the people of Minneapolis.
Indianapolis.
Oh, Indianapolis.
Indianapolis. And yeah, so that just goes to show, folks, there's a lesson there. Always give 100% unless you're donating blood. That goes out to the lion. It's not my fault that maybe it is my fault, but it's not really my fault. All right, yeah. And if a ball gets bigger, it hits you. That's the lesson there, lion. If the ball gets bigger, it hits you. You should have known what was coming. Okay. All right. Now.
Couldn't agree more.
That prison, the food wasn't bad. We played games, and this one dude was making like potato vodka, which I thought was interesting. All the potatoes from like the kitchen, like they would sneak potatoes out and save them, and then dude down in one of the blocks was making potato vodka, which wasn't bad.
I did get addicted to potato vodka. I forgot. I got off of heroin and cocaine and meth, but that potato vodka got me now.
It'll get you, man. But yeah, the only prison.
Are you ready?
The only prison that's better than this one that we were in is one I was in Canada. Like donuts Canada. Every day, pancakes for breakfast with syrup. Everybody's super nice. There's like knitting classes, carpentry classes, all the
moose riding classes.
The moose, yeah, that was actually I think it was like the first time they'd ever tried that. Was the week I went in. Yeah, and it was not my fault that I got arrested and put in there. It was a misunderstanding. But anyway, that's where we've been, folks. And now, Flip is hopefully not going to get arrested down in Miami, but he is down there on location. I think there's a better chance of you not getting arrested because we're not there together.
Yeah, we get rowdy.
Yeah, we do.
So I'm live in sunny Florida.
Woo!
Well, it was sunny.
Yeah. Well, it's getting dark early.
Sad to say, I've been trapped in my vehicle for about 7.5 hours.
Well, really? Tell me what's going on.
So, I came down straight from prison to sunny Florida to get an interview with Tua Tagovailoa.
Dude,
it did not go well.
Really?
I would say it's almost worse than the Jonathan Taylor interview we just did. Okay. And I didn't end up in jail yet, but I may.
Really?
So, what happened was, first question right off the bat, I'm a hard hitter, so I asked Tua. I was like, hey, what's up with all the interceptions this year? And I got a direct quote from him, and he said, bleep you bleeping bleeper. Please get the bleep out of my bleeping bleep, for I bleep you up, you dumb fuck. Bleep.
Damn, that dude needs to calm down and baptize a cat.
That did not go well. And then, right after that, guess what he did?
What?
He sicked Tyreek Hill on me.
What?
I'm lucky I'm still faster than Tyreek Hill in a 100-yard dash, or I wouldn't have made it back to my Jeep.
What?
And I got in here, and why I've been in this vehicle for 7.5 hours is he was just pacing around my vehicle. He'd climb up on top of it and take a nap. I kept trying to get out, and he'd jump down and try to get me, so I had to jump back in. I think he's gone now. I don't know. Let me check.
Dude, that is great. Oh, this recently happened.
Yeah. I think he just left. The worst part is I don't know where my keys are. I think he ate them.
No kidding.
So,
wow.
All that to say this. Tua fired up. Tyreek Hill looking faster than I've ever seen him. I think I'm guaranteeing between the two of them 100 points this week.
100 points? What?
They're breaking the 1-0-0 mark.
It's believable. Look what they did earlier this season. I mean,
I know.
That's what Miami can do. Dude, that is a hot take. Not a hot take. That's a good take. I'm thinking you're onto something. Now, what that says to me is I can say anything I want about deaf people.
They can't hear you.
No. And neither can Tua.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Or something. But mostly deaf people. All right, now, nostalgia really isn't what it used to be. So, if Tyreek Hill and Tua are really fired up, what does that mean for the running back situation in Florida? Like, are they going to be taking up all the snaps so the running backs aren't going to be doing as much, or everybody's just going to go off? It's going to be like a 90-point game.
That, from what I could see, that the running backs weren't even going to practice this week. It looked like they were just taking it easy.
Dude. Wow.
Yeah, so I'm projecting 0 points for every running back on the Miami Dolphins.
Holy smokes.
I peeked over the fence. They were just sitting there.
I mean, dude. Tua's fucking the cat and Tyreek's holding the tail.
Whatever it takes to get the job done.
Who are they playing this week?
That would be a football team.
I will ask the Google real quick. Let's see who they're going to play this week. Miami Dolphins. Miami. You could have asked Tua if he hadn't acted like a maniac.
He's a crazy person, man. Like, I love it. He got me fired up. Woo!
All right. Miami Dolphins are playing the Eagles. And they're playing in Philadelphia.
Yep.
They are.
I think that's why Tyreek got off. Tyreek got off the hood of my vehicle. I think they had to get on the plane, head out, fly up Philly.
Yeah. Probably. Sidewalks keep me off the streets.
He pooped on the sidewalk right over there. I'm hoping my keys are in. I'm going to check here after we're done.
Did he really? I wonder if that's worth any money. Like, have you thought, like, get like a little paper plate and just spatula that up, saran wrap it, and you could sell that.
We can auction on PantherDick.com. Half the proceeds will go to.
And here's the thing: I don't think Tyreek can sue us for selling that poop because he pooped it in a public space and left it.
Yeah, it's not technically on their secret. You can see
it's not.
You can see their secret facility in my background right there. You can see their secret facility. It was over here. It was definitely away from the secret facility.
So, sidewalk's public space, and he left it. It's anybody's now.
Yep.
We're selling it. What do you think? I think for that, how big is it?
I mean, it's big enough I can see it from all the way over here. So I'd say
like a footer?
Size of a baby's arm.
Oh my god! I mean, I'm saying $5,000. Easy. And it'll be preserved. So when you get it, if you can saran wrap it to like vacuum airtight it, that would be cool.
I don't have saran wrap. I have some condoms. I could probably bust one of those open and use it.
Yeah, I mean, I think yours are pretty big, so you probably just slide it in there.
Yeah,
all right.
Super big.
Man, what a find. That is a treasure to be cherished. And for you, our listeners, it could be yours. And no extra charge, you also get Flip's condom.
It's true.
These are the types of stories that, like, they just go down in history, man. I mean, when we're old men and we're sitting in a bar and people are like, tell us a story, tell us what you guys did back in the day.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be like, Flip, tell them about the time that you got Tyreek Hill's shit, and we sold it for $5,000. Really, we should like have it petrified and keep it.
You think? Like bronze it, like a baby's
we'll
boot?
have like a museum dedicated to us when we're done with this.
It's
so
true.
It could be like
just have
a focal point.
We should have all our football gear bronzed, like all your cups.
I actually did have my shorts from my second season bronze because that's like my highest scoring season.
Nice.
Yeah, it wasn't that expensive. They're tiny shorts.
How many touchdowns do you have that season?
72.
That is nice. How many of those were on defense?
Let's see, defense. That year's second season. I bet at least 20.
Nice. That was the greatest year for football that I think I can ever remember.
It was and one of the bad things is that I was celebrating so much that I remember playing, but I don't remember like the in betweens a lot. I was living it up, man. Super popular, famous. Good old days.
All right. Well, that's enough talk about bronze poop. What do you got for us?
Well, tonight I would like to talk about an issue that we're all having, I think, is what are we going to do about, and we've talked about it in previous episodes, but tight ends this season, man, they are hurting, and we talked about one or two in previous episodes, and they turned out to be good picks, but they haven't been consistently good. So the weeks that we recommended them, they did go off. Like your hot picks or your I don't know if it was your I think it was your Dick's picks, and those did pay off. So we did have really satisfied customers on that, but in the weeks after that they didn't play out. But we didn't guarantee that either. So I would like to send out a new one tonight.
What are you thinking?
Well, it's been tough, man, because a lot of them are not doing well. So there isn't a lot to choose from. There are people trending upwards, but it's been so inconsistent this year that it's really been pretty tough. I'm going to say Las Vegas' tight end, Mayer.
Oh, yeah.
20-point game this week against Chicago.
Whoa. No, we didn't take him in all the leagues. I need him.
Well, one of the leagues that we're playing in, he is still available. He got 12. So he got 12 points last week against New England, who has a pretty stout defense. But he's going up against Chicago, who isn't the best at guarding tight ends. So we'll see how he does. Michael Mayer, Las Vegas tight end. Pick him up for cheap. Nobody's looking at him. Who knows? Might help you win this week.
You ready for my dick pick of the week?
I am ready. Hit me with it. Right here.
All right.
Ow. Damn it. All right, I'm ready.
All right. So, I got some insider information while we were inside the pen. Earlier we talked about Russell the Love Muscle.
The Love Muscle?
Guess who he's friends with?
Who?
He is friends with Deshaun Watson. I guess they used to hit some massage. Yeah, they used to hit some massage parlors together.
Way.
Yeah, and he's telling me
wait,
that.
You know which massage parlor?
I think they were most the ones in Minneapolis.
No, there's this one called Sweaty Hands that I used to go to.
Oh yeah.
I swear I saw him in there.
It probably was. That's probably where you knew him. You kept saying he has a face you remembered. That's where it's from. We finally figured it out.
Okay, keep going. I'm listening.
But from what I heard from Deshaun Watson, was that Kareem Hunt is looking great. He could kick 10 women down probably this week. That's how powerful he's looking. So he's saying he thinks, and I have to agree, 30-plus points for Kareem Hunt this week. And that's my dick pick of the week.
He is uptrending. I think it's a good pick. You really hit me with it. It kind of hurt, but no, I think that's smart. He had a good week last week.
Gonna be even better this week.
Old Sweaty Hands. All right, so that's Dick's picks for the week. Now, next topic. My wife won't let me bring it in the house, so I can't put it on camera. But I get a phone call from Denver, and they said, hey, we've got this orange cooler that all the players are afraid of. I said, well, what's going on? Is it an alligator cooler?
That's what I was wondering.
And he said, well, we're not sure, but we think there might be a sneaky, wily alligator in there. And I said,
holy shit.
I know. So I flew out there, and I get out there and I start checking it. And this is one, he's been in there his whole life. He got in there as a baby. Somehow somebody wasn't paying attention, shut the lid. And now he's like 12 feet. I mean, when I opened that lid up, he was just like bloomed like a flower.
Popped out like a can of steaks.
He did for like 5 seconds, and he freaked out because it's the only existence he knows, and he got right back in the cooler. And he just like, it's just in there, wedged in there, and his little tail sticking out over the ledge, like wiggling. Well, I felt bad for him, so I brought him home. I tuck his tail in, sealed the cooler, put some tape on it. They almost didn't let me bring it on the airplane because they put it through the x-ray, and they're like, you've got an animal in there? I was like, no, it's just bones.
Yeah.
They don't know the difference. It's an x-ray machine.
No, they're fucking stupid, yeah.
I was like, no, it's bones, and I'm a professor of anthropology, archaeology, and I'm taking it back to Kansas. Somebody found this old cooler with alligator bones in it. And he believed me. I thought he was sure as hell not going to believe me. But, yep, so we flew back, and I brought it in the house, and my wife was not happy about that and does not approve. So he is currently living in the backyard.
But you got a new pet.
Yeah,
that's wonderful to hear.
And now that I've got him out of Denver, tides might be turning.
You think?
Tides might be turning for Denver. It's a hard thing to believe because they are awful. Yeah. I mean,
the worst.
Awful. Really bad. But now that guy's gone because you know where there's a gator, there's some mischief going on. You know.
Do you think it's a bad luck gator or a good luck gator? Should you have that in your backyard right now?
I don't know.
Be careful, man. You might want to get a rabbit's foot.
I have one of those. Also not allowed in the house, coincidentally.
Just the foot?
Yep. Well, it's turned out as more, but that's a long story. Lawnmower accident.
The alligator actually close to it?
Well, yeah, it was a lawnmower accident. And so we got traumatized, and now it's that rabbit foot. I was like, hey, it's a lucky rabbit foot as I picked it up off the ground, blood dripping on it. But I thought it was funny. Someone else didn't, and now it's not allowed back in the house. So, yeah. Anyway, Denver might be on the upswing. So if you have the Denver quarterback, even though he's pretty inconsistent, or Denver's running back, or their number one wide receiver,
he's bad.
Might be worth picking up. They might be on the uptrend. So everybody knows, well, at least everybody who plays football knows that if there's if there's a suspicious cooler and reports of a wily alligator on the premises, you might be having trouble.
And all of that information is behind the paywall. We're on Alligator Watch 24/7 here.
Always on it. Yeah.
So if you want insider information on alligator sightings in every professional city, PanterDick.com.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. They try to get me on one of those late night talk shows, like they bring on the animal specialists and stuff like that, but I just, we're popular enough. I don't need to be on late night TV.
We don't need the help.
No. Well, and it is what it is. Plus, they weren't going to get a lot of money. They were not.
Yeah. So that kind of leads me into my next segment, if you're done.
I am.
Panter, your dick is pissed.
Oh.
And you know what I'm pissed about this week? People not believing in PanterDick.com. They're asking, how do we get all these numbers? How do we know they're right every week? How are we so great? And I tell them, one, me and you are just amazing. We're amazing at everything we do.
Yeah.
Fantasy football, life, winning.
Uh-huh.
But also, we have 9 supercomputers.
9 of them.
Running nonstop. These are crunching analytics, data, straight football numbers.
Yes.
And they're pumping out info, and we review it every second of every day.
Yes.
So I just want to make sure that everybody out there was talking shit on the forums and on Reddit, that we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
We have over 9 supercomputers.
9. And you know what? All those people that are there bitching have been winning off of our picks. So, you know, I mean, they're complaining, but they're still winning.
Yeah. So that's what I'm pissed about this week.
I'm pissed too. I agree. I agree. 100%. Now, next topic. I have something about another team that has not been doing well this year, but I think is on the upswing and is going to maybe hit it big. Now, let's talk about the Bears. Chicago. Now, I've said it before. I said in the past that, you know, I think Chicago is going to get their ass whooped. And they did. And I felt bad about it, but, you know, that's just what the stats were saying. But I think they may get a W this week.
Really?
Yep.
Who are they going up against?
Ask me why.
Why do you think that?
Because they're playing the Raiders. And not because the Raiders suck, but they are so inconsistent.
They got old Jimmy Garoppolo's.
The Raiders are 3-3. The Bears are 1-5. But it's a home game for Chicago. And man, they need a win. Bad.
Windy City, good luck, kickers.
Yeah. Now, Chicago, they're okay. But Raiders have a pretty good defensive line. They've got a really good D end. But I think Chicago is mobile enough. Now, I'm not predicting a blowout game here, folks, but hot tip, Chicago's number 1 running back. I'm saying at least 2 touchdowns.
That is nice. Pretty sure that's Deontay Foreman because Khalil Herbert got injured and the rookie had a concussion.
Yep. So for him, and I'm saying 1 quarterback sneak touchdown. So 3 touchdowns, 21 points, maybe a field goal, so maybe 24. But
and where do you have the Raiders at? How do you think they're going to do?
I'm going to say the Raiders are going to be a touchdown and a field goal, so 10 points.
I will definitely be betting a fuck ton of money on that game.
Yeah. Now, one of our subscribers to our Patreon, his name is, I won't say his last name. His first name is Reed. And he is a huge Denver fan. And so, you know, and Denver hasn't had a very good time this year. But they have won a little. So.
Against the Bears.
Yeah. Before that Bears game, I told him, I was like, hey, man, this is Denver's chance. This is their chance. The Bears are the worst team in the league, almost, if not the most. I don't know, the Commanders might be close to that. But anyway, I told him, hey, he actually donated. He's already platinum tier in the Patreon.
Yeah.
But I think it's because he's been down because the Denver was desperate for a win. He threw some extra into the Patreon, like triple the platinum amount. And I sent him an email and I said, hey man, you know, I know Denver's struggling this year, but I think they've got it this week. So if you want, I'm picking Denver for the win, and I think you can pretty much take that to the bank. And turns out he did. He mortgaged his home sold his house. No, he didn't mortgage it. He
Wow.
sold it. I'm sorry, I misspoke. He sold it. It would have been better if he just mortgaged it, but he sold it and took all of his money. He's like living out of his car, took all his money to bookie and bet it all on Denver to win. Not any like special stuff, just the win. And he did, and he won. I was like, dude, you should have just mortgaged your house, not sold it, and so you don't have to move. But anyway, he sold it, so now he's shopping for a new home, and he's got double the money.
That is a success story, and that's what we sell here on this channel. If he was not part of PanterDick.com and our Patreon, do you think he would have won?
Absolutely not. No, there's no way it's pretty.
Absolutely.
Everybody's like, it could go either way. No, Denver was going to win that game. I mean, you and I talked
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We said 100%.
100%. So, and Reed is so grateful that I gave him that tip. I mean, he invested, $1,500 into PanterDick.com, into our show, football. His return was
a lot of the reason I can hundreds of that money got me to be able to be down here in sunny Miami, Florida.
Yeah. So what's going to happen is he, as a thank you and to help promote the show some more, I'm going to try. He said I sent out an invitation and asked him. I haven't talked to you about it yet, but I'll talk to you about it now. Asked him if he wanted to come on the show just to say thanks, for, this actually did happen, blah, blah, whatnot. He was going to come on tonight, but it didn't work out, scheduling issue. So, but next week possibly.
Yeah, I've never actually talked to him or hung out with him or anything like that. So I think it'd be nice to get to see his face.
Yeah, he loves Denver. So.
Sounds like a smart fella.
Well, yeah, you could say that, I guess. Smart for trusting us.
Exactly.
All right.
I got one more segment. You want to hear it?
Yeah, I do. Last one of the night, folks. Here we go.
It is a double dick tip type of night.
Double dick tip.
I got a secret dick tip, and this one is hard hitting. This is something people don't think about when it comes to fantasy football, and I'm bringing it up. It's not talked about enough. Panter. You know what people do? They sleep too much. So my bonus dick tip is stop sleeping during fantasy football season. You know what's going on while you're sleeping? Fantasy football, trades, news, point changes. Panter, how many hours since fantasy football season started have you slept?
Not much. A twinkle.
Exactly, because we're staying up. We're running those numbers. We're playing the fantasy football game, and we're getting rich.
Yeah, you see these bags? Yeah, they're real.
I've slept 0 hours and 0 minutes in the first 6 weeks of the fantasy football season. And if you want to be winners like us, you got to stop sleeping.
Stop sleeping.
Waiver wires run at like 3 a.m.
3 a.m.
Be up.
Be up.
Yep, getting those free players.
Get them.
That's my last segment, and that is the bonus dick tip of the week.
Bonus. Nice. Flip, you're amazing. Tell you what, buddy, your hard work is paying off, and we appreciate your sacrifice, even though I think you're having fun down there.
I get to go pick up poop in a second.
I know. Well, I mean, it's stinky, but it's worth a lot of money.
Yep.
Not often that you find some excrement that's actually worth something.
Very true.
But, it's a Hall of Fame poop right there.
First ballot poop.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Well, I'll let you get to that scraping. Folks at home, don't forget www.panterdick.com and Patreon.com/football with 1 L, just like the hat. My name is Panter Gusfield, and with me tonight is your favorite the man with all the info, on location in Florida, Flip Dicket. See you next time.